It's kind of going back to my first point is that I see you are training and it doesn't look like you're just training for long drive. Is that true?
In terms of my training, like am I training for long drive or golf?
I mean, let me ask you this way. Right now, what's your main goal right now going forward?
Well, my main goal, ultimate goal would be to make it onto the PGA Tour. But the beauty of this,
yes,
so we'll probably debut it in the same year.
No. You got me. You got me by at least.
I would say
7 to 8 years.
Yeah, but hey, I'll welcome you when you make it.
Okay.
But no, I would say I gotten my swing to a place where I can pursue both. Because I won my last long drive event, and I would say I probably had the best stuff I've ever had in terms of speed and ball striking, and I didn't swing my long drive club for 2 months. I literally was the night before working on my wedges in my iron game, and the next morning I swung my long drive club to get ready for the first set that morning. Right. I didn't touch my long drive club in almost 2 months. Right. I think I had one session with it like a month beforehand. So we've gotten to a place where we know I can do both because my long drive swing and my golf swing are now on the same swing plane, so they're very similar swings now. So I don't.
What's the difference? Is it the pop out you do with the leg?
No, that's the total. That's just the reaction of speed to speed. I mean, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have a left knee. The difference is I just turn a little bit more and get a little deeper into my right side with my long drive swing. Everything else is basically the same. It's just a shorter swing with my play driver. And I mean, the time commitment for long drive, it's not huge. You have to, I mean, I think you definitely need to spend time to develop your long drive swing first. But now that we've developed it, I mean, I was hitting it pretty good today before we did this interview, and I really haven't hit since my last event about a week and a half ago. But I've been playing a lot of golf, so that makes it a lot easier to I think keep your game and your long drive swing in shape. And now that being said, that allows me a lot more leeway now to pursue golf, because the last thing we wanted, and we've always been concerned about, and so we've really been careful about, we don't want to get caught in no man's land where I pursue golf and I'm having trouble making it, and then I try to go back to long drive and my swing is deserted me and my speed's gone, and you're caught in between those two, and that's not a place we want to be. So we've basically flattened my long drive swing a lot this year. And what that's done, as I said earlier, it's now they're both on the same plane, my play swing, my long drive swing. And that allows me to basically pursue golf and also be able to stay at a very high level in long drive.
Do you think the reverse is possible? Being able to be on the PGA Tour and also competing at an elite level?
Yeah.
Long drive?
That's I mean, and I don't know how realistic it is. It definitely is something I think about, because if I'm able to, I would say I'm definitely probably playing the best golf of my life right now, because I've never been able to be Kyle Berkshire, the professional golfer. I've always been either Kyle Berkshire, the student athlete, meaning I had school and golf, or Kyle Berkshire, the long driver, meaning obviously I had long drive and I play golf whenever I could. I never got a chance to put out 99% of my effort and energy into golf. So it would be interesting to see what would happen with my game this winter if I can get it up to that standard. There would be no reason for my long drive swing to decline. So if I've already got that long drive swing at a good place and just maintain it just enough to keep it at that spot and throw all my other efforts and energy into golf, I could possibly see a scenario where, and again, I haven't actually really gotten super deep into this, so this isn't.
Don't be scared to tell me. I'm sitting here saying I'm going to go be pro and never even play.
Because I played with a lot of guys that are now pros, and when I was a junior golfer, and I played with a lot of pros that are pros like this, that are pros on the tour now.
What would you say is that you need to do? Is it, you just need practice, a couple years of?
I would say it's a mixture of developing good technique. My technique has gotten a lot better now that I'm able to focus on training with the right coach, because I have a golf coach, Bernie and Ajar. And so we're working on technique, and that's what I spent like 10 hours with him yesterday. So my technique is good, and I have the time now to groove that technique. Mm-hmm. And it would stand to reason, if I'm able to swing a golf club at a certain speed, then I feel like I have a decent amount of talent. So that I feel like that gives me a good chance at, maybe if I have the right technique, enough time under my belt, and then and I'm able to get my head in the right spot in the golf course, I feel like I might have a chance. And the fact of the matter is, if the World Championship does come back to a place where it's like a big deal, and I think it will in 2021.
Barstool's good. We're gonna
if you guys get behind it, it'll be huge. I mean, and it's one of those things where it could be a scenario where I do pro golf all year, and it could be a very, very viable option to take a week off of pro golf, take that 5-6 days to focus on my long drive swing and prepare for the World Championship, and do that every year, the World Long Drive Championship. Because if you're a top long drive guy, it makes financial sense to really get serious, because you're talking about like 6-figure paychecks if you win the World Championship in long drive. So, I mean, that would make financial sense, but obviously,
so if you are able to win a World Championship, you could sustain yourself for the rest of the year to focus and play golf.
You could sustain yourself for probably 2 years, maybe even 3.
And is that counting like sponsorships and that type of?
No.
So
that's just pure prize money. But I think, but it's a concept that I've thought about a lot. But that's probably how it would go. Like, I have the ability to spend a lot of probably 60 hours a week working on my golf game and still keep my long drive swing in a good spot, because obviously I don't want to let that swing fade. I don't want to like slide down the rankings and start having problems in my long drive, because I know that's where my name was made. That's what people know me for. I don't want to. That's my bread and butter. But this is kind of like I'm trying to add more to it, and I feel like I have the ability, but I think everyone says that. It's a matter of whether you get it done or not. And I definitely want to at least put myself in a position where I have the opportunity to find that out, whether or not I can get it done. And all I'm saying is that I think there's no reason I should say, all right, I'm done with long drive and I'm just doing golf. Because one of my good friends, Jamie Solowski, I don't know if you've heard of him.
I have, through Como, I asked him about you, and he brought up your name, and you brought up him.
And so Jamie, he's a good friend of mine. He's an awesome guy. And but what Jamie did was he retired from long drive to focus on pro golf. And that was, I think, he retired a year before I got into the sport. I think he retired in 2016. And what I guess all I'm saying is, like, I don't see a reason to retire from long drive to focus on golf. I think I'm very capable of staying in the sport of long drive, promoting the sport, growing the sport, doing everything I can to make the sport bigger and get it out there to people the way it needs to, and also have enough time to slowly get my game up to higher levels. And if it ever does reach a point where it's at that level, great. Then I can shift my focus to pro golf and still maybe do the World Long Drive Championship every September and focus on that every September.